Ready for the dictation? 3, 2, 1, start. The freedom of a country depends on its citizens, individuals who selflessly sacrifice their lives so that their country and countrymen can be free are identified as freedom fighters. Every country has a few brave hearts who willingly give up their lives for their countrymen. Freedom fighters did not only fight for their country but for everyone who suffered in silence, lost their family and freedom, and even their rights to live for themselves. People of the country look up to the freedom fighters with respect for their patriotism and the love they had for their motherland. These people provide examples by which other citizens aim to live by. For ordinary people, sacrificing their lives is a big deal, but freedom fighters selflessly make this unimaginable sacrifice for their country without thinking of any repercussion. The amount of pain and hardships that they have to endure to achieve their goal cannot be described in mere words. The entire country remains forever indebted to them for their struggles. The influence left by the freedom fighters, one cannot stress enough the importance of the deeds of the freedom fighters. On every Independence Day, the country remembers the thousands who once struggled so that their countrymen could be free. Their sacrifices are never forgotten by their countrymen. If we delve into history, we see most freedom fighters joined the freedom struggle without prior formal training in war or related fields. They went to wars and protests knowing very well that they may get killed by the opposite power. The freedom fighters were not just people who fought with arms against the tyrants, but they were people who joined protests through literature, legal advocates, people who contributed money to the freedom struggle, and so on. Most of the brave hearts led the fight against foreign powers. They made their fellow people realize their rights and pointed out all the existing social injustice and crimes committed by the ones in power. The most important effect that the freedom fighters left on the people of the society are that they inspired others to understand their rights and stand up against the people in power. They inspired others to join their struggle. It was because of the freedom fighters that the countrymen united with a bond of nationalism and patriotic feelings. Freedom fighters are considered to be the propelling force behind the success of the freedom struggle. They are the reason why we can now prosper in a free country. Some noteworthy Indian freedom fighters. India had been under British rule for 200 years approximately. There were a lot of brave hearts who laid down their lives for the freedom of India. Within the limited scope of this essay, we will discuss the contributions made by only a few freedom fighters. Mahatma Gandhi is known as the father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi, the reason behind the Dandi March, led the path to freedom following the principles of ahimsa or non-violence. He prioritized Swadeshi and non-cooperation to expedite the freedom movement. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was an excellent leader. He traveled to other countries to form alliances and formed Indian National Army within brackets INA or Azad Hind Fauj, which eventually helped our nation prosper. He was successful in freeing a portion of the Indian territory from British rule. Bhagat Singh, the fearless patriot, was hanged to death at a very young age after being convicted in several cases of dissent against the then British Empire. He was indeed a true patriot, and we still remember him as a Shaheed Bhagat Singh. Another great freedom fighter was Rani Lakshmi Bai, a strong woman who had a lot to teach by example. Despite facing so many challenges, she battled for the nation. The mother never abandoned her nation for the sake of her kid, rather, she took him to the front lines of the war against injustice. After a century of revolution, bloodshed, and wars, we were able to take back our freedom from the British. We live in a democratic, independent country because of these outstanding leaders. Numerous freedom fighters struggled to defend the people from British injustice, exploitation, and cruelty. It was their sheer love and dedication for the country and its people that they took India back from the British. Freedom fighters are the reason we live in a free country. We must honor their sacrifices and aim to live together in harmony and peace, ensuring social justice. The motivation for today's youth is alive in the stories of freedom fighters. The struggles of their lives show the difference in life and the depth of the value they believe in and fought for. We, as a citizen of India, should respect and honor the sacrifice by creating a peaceful environment in the country. Stop. Thank you.
क्या चाहिए बदले में हमें? बस एक प्यारा सा लाइक, तो इस वीडियो को लाइक कर देना और सब्सक्राइब कर दो यार। सब्सक्राइब यार, सभी की मांगे मैं पूरी करता हूँ। मेरी एक ही तो मांग रहती है कि सब्सक्राइब कर दो चैनल को, जिन्होंने नहीं किया है कर दो यार, हाथ जोड़ के विनती है।